play.
Good afternoon, good morning, good evening, whatever time it is, wherever in the world you are. If it looks like I've just woken up, by the way, ladies and gentlemen, it is because I have just woken up. Somebody else who woke up yesterday, by the way, was a certain Sir Andy Murray, who managed to win his match against Matteo Berrettini in five. I was going to say excruciating, but I guess the excruciation is on the behalf of the Italian. Five excruciating sets for the Italian. He crashes out in the first round. Extremely disappointing for Matteo, who's obviously had I would say, a pretty good few months after a fairly disappointing 2022. I did not see this coming. Did anybody of you in the live chat see this coming? I thought that Matteo would probably win in straight sets. It was under the roof, by the way, because at that stage, there was searing heat in Melbourne, and so we had a period of about 2 hours, I believe, where there was no play on any of the outside courts. Damien, Mario, and myself, therefore, said, okay, they closed the roof, they have the air conditioning. Maybe this gives a 1% swing towards Murray, not necessarily because of any differences in the trajectory of the ball and the conditions in that respect, but at least Murray will be saved from that searing sunshine that we spoke about, and perhaps that might give him a little bit more energy. Well, he definitely needed that energy because it went to 5 sets. He wins the first 2 sets. By the way, excuse me if I make any errors. I'm on 5 hours sleep. Hi there, Ghosty. What have you got to say? Just hopping on to say good morning to the benevolent king of Silk of Manor at Talking Tennis Towers. Got to make money now. Peace. Listen, Ghosty, this episode is actually going to be about 10 minutes anyway, but thank you for stopping by. Make sure you hit that like button. Yes, so listen, we're going to be a very, very brief, it's going to be a 10-minute, 20-minute episode today because I have to get going with so many other things to do before we have a Tonight Show, which will be taking through the whole night's episode with Jethro and Nick and Isabel and Jack and Ashley and maybe Miles. We haven't sorted that out yet, but there'll be plenty of people. Plus, we'll be having Damien, myself, and of course, Mario as well from Talking Towers Tennis, Talking Towers. You got it anyway. We'll be live tonight at 12:45. So make sure you hit that like button. Make sure you subscribe. And don't forget to hit the notification bell so you know whenever we're going live for episodes such as this one right now, where Sir Andy Murray is through. Let me know, did anybody see this coming? I did not see it coming. Jack on the broadcast, by the way, was... Let's say he was pretty excited, I would suggest, for that. Of course, Jack, a fellow Scot, extremely pleased, could barely contain his emotion and his nerves. Matteo Berrettini, by the way, let's just very quickly talk about the match. Murray was solid, broke early in sets 1 and 2. He then breaks again at the end of the second set to win it 6-3, and suddenly he's in a 2-set lead. Berrettini, some of his old failures came back to haunt him, particularly on the backhand side. I compared him to a fisherman because of his affinity with the net. I also said that perhaps he should play for the Italian national soccer team because of his ability to find the back of the net, particularly on the backhand side, but also the forehand was misfiring at times. But listen, hats off to Andy Murray. He was solid, but he also brought it at crucial moments. 2 breaks points down as well. I think it was in the second set, and some unbelievable passing shots. I remember one shot down the line, for example, on break point. Andy Murray rolling back the years, 2 sets to love up. However, he goes a break down. Matteo closes it out in the third set. Matteo then, as only Matteo can, super clutch in the tiebreak, wins it at 7-6. We're then going into a fifth. Andy Murray, the 35-year-old with a metal hip, we're thinking surely now, going into the fifth, the momentum, the energy, the vibe is with the Italian. No. And Murray halted the flow, managed to force a 5th set tiebreak, edges out a double break advantage or double mini break advantage in that tiebreak. Oh, and by the way, I'm skipping a moment. Andy Murray, on his own serve, mind you, faces a match point in that 5th set. Berrettini is up in the rally. Murray does one of the worst drop shots of his career. Berrettini chases it down, gets to the ball, and he's basically got the easiest passing shot ever and he dumps it into the net on the backhand side. Not just into the net, it's quite low down, and he was to go on to live to regret that. Coming to the tie break, double break advantage pretty much throughout, but it never felt sure. And Murray mentioned that in his encore interview afterwards. Match point now. Berrettini down the tee, I think, with a serve. Backhand slice, was it forehand slice? Sorry, return. Forehand slice return from Andy Murray, clips the net cord and trickles over the net to win the match. Andy Murray through. Who else joins him in round two? Novak Djokovic won in straight sets. Probably the only concern really for Novak would be some strapping. We saw quite clearly on his thigh, area, and his hamstring. Did seem to be a little bit off colour in the first two sets, but ends up winning the third set without dropping a game, bageling his opponent, Caballes Baena. So he is also through to round two. Any surprises? I guess, well, we had Bublik going out in 5 sets to Vidovic for Kina, including a bagel, though, for Bublik. So that was a bit of a surprise. Let me just think about the men's side for now. Of course, many matches, by the way, suspended because there was rain then again in the evening. So basically, only the show courts had matches in the evening. So we have Kokinakis, for example, in a very good position, up 2 sets and a break on Fonini. Purcell and Rusevori are into a 4th set tie break. That is where we are with that, for example. Let's bring up some of these scores on the screen because I'm going to have to bring this show to an end in about the next couple of minutes. Hi there, D. What's going on here? We'll watch replay. Love seeing Lendl in the coach's box. Yes, I think that was quite cool. He was fairly serious throughout, as he always is. Let's bring up some scores on the screen because I can only stay here for another couple more minutes before I have to depart for a very, very brief 20-minute episode today. Halved, shall we say. Let's see if you can see this. We've got Cressy up 2 sets to 1 on Reyes Binas Boras. So, and I've really butchered that name there, by the way. Let's get this back up on the screen anyway. Here we go. So, yeah, as I said, Rusevori and Purcell into a 4-set tie break. Mo up a break, having been 2 sets to love down on Luckily. And Rude, by the way, actually missed the 4th set for this match. He did progress to the next round. Popperin winning in 5 sets, it looks like, against Seng. That finished pretty late last night in Melbourne and therefore about mid-afternoon here in Europe. Tommy Paul, straight sets win over Struff. Maybe that was a surprise. Sheng emerging in 5 sets. Rune, very, very impressive straight sets win over Krajinovic. And Zverev emerging in 5 against Varias. Do not see him going far, really, in this tournament on this form and obviously coming back from the injury. Fritz, couple of scares against Basilashvili, was a breakdown in the first set before winning that and ultimately going on to win in 4 sets over Basilashvili. So Fritz is through. And probably now it's really Fritz and Djokovic in that lower half, bearing in mind Berrettini's gone out. I don't know if any of you see Murray perhaps being a threat at all in terms of getting to the second week, etc. On the women's side, probably the biggest story of the day would be Muguruza was serving for it against Elise Mertens in the second set, but ultimately went out. That's really disappointing. Fernandez, by the way, my tip to get to the to the semi-final. Very good win, straight sets over Cornet, but she now has an extremely difficult second round. Can't remember who she'll be playing. Let's have a quick look to see who Fernandez is playing in that second round. I remember that being a bit of a difficult one and a blockbuster. Yes, against Garcia. So that is her second round opponent. Garcia winning in straight sets yesterday as well. But yes, back to Muguruza. We can see Sabalenka as well safely through. Goffin, by the way, on the men's side has pulled out, so he is out of the tournament. But yeah, Muguruza was serving for it at the end of the second set. Doesn't finish the job. Double faults on Matt in that and loses her serve. Goes to a tiebreak. Mertens wins the tiebreak. Streams through the second set, including 6 games in a row. Game set match to the Belgian. Jabeur, by the way, is through as well. Nole, yeah, Bit of a movement issue, I would say, Ashley, regarding that hamstring issue. Let's see how he gets on against tougher assignments than he had yesterday. I don't think we're going to see any tough assignments, though, probably until at least the fourth round for him, where he will probably play PCB in that match. I said it would be a short version today. I have to go, but make sure you hit the like button. Make sure you subscribe to the channel if you're new and hit the notification bell. Join us again in a few hours, by the way, where we will be live once again for day 3. We'll have Rafa Nadal in action there against McDonald, and we'll also have plenty more. Iga Swiatek, of course, in action too. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for stopping by for today's version of the 20 minutes, a real brief version. I'll give you a much fuller version tomorrow, okay, when I'll be reviewing all of day 3's action. Thanks for stopping by.
If you enjoyed this video, make sure you hit that like button. Don't forget to subscribe and click that notification bell so you don't miss out on all things tennis.